Hello, my name is Anika Fajardo, and I'm the author of the book Meet Me Halfway. Thank you so much to the Minnesota Youth Reading Awards and especially to the Hart Lovelace Selection Committee for reading all the books that you read and for selecting Meet Me Halfway for the Hart Lovelace division. I thought you'd like to know a little bit about me. I am a writer, born in Columbia and raised in Minnesota. And I'm the author of a memoir for adults called Magical Realism for Non-Believers, a memoir of finding family, came out in 2019. I'm also the author of 2 middle grade novels. The first book is What If a Fish, which won the Minnesota Book Award in 2020, and the author of Meet Me Halfway, the one I'm going to talk about today. Meet Me Halfway is inspired by my own story, although it is 100% fiction. The story is about 2 kids. Maddie, who is originally from Minnesota, she grew up in St. Paul, and when her mom gets remarried, she has to move across the country to California with her new stepfather and her new stepbrothers. As you can imagine, she's not super happy about that. She has to start 7th grade in a brand new school. And the first thing that happens to her is she meets another girl, Mercedes. And Mercedes and Maddie look mysteriously alike. And despite looking alike, they do not like each other. Pretty soon, they discover that they are actually half-sisters, and the 2 girls go off on an adventure to find their Colombian father. So you can see some of the similarities between my life and the life of these characters. They are both half Colombian. Maddie is also from Minnesota like me, but the rest of their story is completely an adventure that has never happened to me. The 2 girls go off in search of their dad. They go on a road trip in a way that only 7th graders can go on a road trip. They end up navigating a college campus and trying to make their way through the campus, meeting all the very interesting people that you might meet at a college campus. This book was inspired by a couple different media. One of the things that inspired me to write this book was one of my favorite books when I was a kid, From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. If you have never read this book, it is an amazing story of an adventure. It all takes place at the Met Museum in New York City, and I loved this book as a kid. And I really wanted to give readers an experience of being on an adventure like that. I was also inspired by the movie The Parent Trap. I personally grew up with the old version with Hayley Mills. There's also a newer version with Lindsay Lohan that is just as fun. One of the things I loved about the movie The Parent Trap was how much the 2 girls hated each other and all of the pranks that they pulled on each other. I think it's really fun. I think kids find it really fun to see kids who don't get along with each other. And of course, eventually they do get along. And so I wanted to have that same kind of sense of adventure and that same kind of conflict and figuring out how to work together in my book. One of the things that you might not know about Meet Me Halfway is that it was recently translated into German. The German book is called Maddie and Mercedes, and it is the same story. As you can see, it still has the 2 characters, Maddie and Mercedes. And one of the things that people don't know about The Parent Trap is that The Parent Trap was actually based partly on a German book called Lisa and Lottie, which is also about kids who discover that they are related and have to figure out how to get along. I am so excited that Meet Me Halfway was selected as part of the Minnesota Youth Reading Awards, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.